Hi, I'm Dr. David Weed, your host for the Healthy City Fall River Show, where we take a look at some of the activities in the city of Fall River that are helping us to improve our health. Fall River was awarded one of 6 prizes by the prestigious Robert Wood Johnson Foundation a year ago for its efforts to improve health, and this show will show you some of the reasons why. We don't often think about it, but our streets play a major role in how healthy we are. If our sidewalks are narrow or in poor condition, we'll be reluctant to walk. If bus routes are poorly planned and schedules inconvenient, we'll be more likely to drive even short distances around our city. If bicycle lanes aren't marked and streets are designed only for cars, we'll think twice about cycling. Mass in Motion coordinator Julianne Kelly recently invited Steve Miller from the Livable Streets Alliance in Boston to come and talk to us about how we can make our streets complete streets. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Nice turnout to welcome Steve Miller to our community. And first, I would like to invite Mayor Will Flanagan to come down and for his greetings.
Thank you, Julie. And I just want to take a moment to thank Julianne Kelly for all that she's doing to make really the city of Fall River a healthier community, and also working with Mass in Motion, working with the Fall River Bike Committee. We have some really great initiatives going on here in the city. And the presentation you're going to have today by Steve Miller really focuses in on what communities can do to improve their image, lead a healthier lifestyle, and really improve the quality of life within their community. And it all focuses on transportation. So Julie, again, thank you. And also want to welcome Steve here.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
The mayor just said all the highlights and the important things, so really, it's a pleasure to be here. And it's true, the mayor did hit many of the key points. Transportation is one of these incredibly high leverage things. It changes everything, and I'll go into some of that in a little bit. But it's not just about bicycles or walking or buses. It's also about cars. I drove my car here. I love my car. It's not about hating cars or hating buses. It's about figuring out how do you use all these tools to create the kind of communities and the kind of life that you want to live. I think livable streets are the road you get to a livable community. So the trouble with transportation is it doesn't really work well for a lot of us, many of the times. It's annoying. We get congestion, we get smell, we get noise. And the other problem is we all think it's the other guy's fault. The fact is, we all use the roads. We all have to go back and forth. So we've got to figure out, how do we do this differently? And the real question is, what do we want to accomplish? So the starting point is, you need to know where you want to end up, or else you never know if you're off track, right? It's one of my favorite street signs. Right down the street from my house. No, it's at the BU Bridge. Sorry. So, here we are at Fall River, which I've now learned has a whole other forested side on the other side of one of these waters. Incredible. What a resource. Of course, you can't get there, right? You can get there. How do we start by figuring out what's our goal? How do we know, how do we move towards there? So some communities around the country, around the world, have done a variety of processes. Somerville, where I used to live, has done something called Summer Vision. This is a 3-year program of having small community meetings around the city, having outside experts come in, give talks about city planning, transportation, architecture, and coming up with a vision of what do they want. And it's not just Somerville. This is going on all over the world. And what's amazing is almost everybody, for all our diversity, come up with similar themes. A lot of words here, but think of any of these hit home to you. Walkable, varied, busy but not overcrowded, lots of retail space, restaurants, little stores you can walk to, bicycle, transit accessible, lots of opportunity to meet and socialize with others, dense but not high rise, energy efficient, green, clean air, trees, cultural activities, arts, music, but quiet spaces, parks, things you can hide and be by yourself, things you can play with, and places to work. Sounds pretty ordinary, but it turns out that's what we want. Why is it so difficult to get there? In fact, it's too many words. So we started trying to boil it down. So one of the things, came up with this concept, livable streets. And here's some of the key words we thought begin to boil down some of that. We want an efficient transportation system, gets you from here to there, not too long. We want it safe. We want it multimodal. It's not just about cars. We spent 50 years basically putting all our eggs in that one car basket, and it's got a flat tire at this point. We cannot, we've learned, get rid of congestion and pollution by building more roads. We cannot speed up your commute by building more interchanges. We need to think out of that box. Healthy should be given a no-brainer. Green. You know, if the sea rises it too much, Fall River's in trouble here. Smart. There's a lot of technology out there that we can use. Accessible. No one should be kept out because you can't walk or jump. And it should be fun, right? So part of the way all this gets translated is something called complete streets. The idea of complete streets is it says a street that's only designed for cars, or only designed for bikes, or only designed for buses, is an incomplete street. If you're talking transportation, you want a complete system. You want a street that's capable of handling every way that a user wants to go. A complete street is able to handle someone with a wheelchair, someone on a bike, who is not a crazy bicyclist like myself, but who's like my daughter, who is very nervous about getting in traffic. That's a complete street. And here's the amazing thing, and I'll come back to this over and over. It turns out that complete streets are safer streets, not just for the pedestrians, not just for the bicyclists, not just for the old people with the walkers and the young people running to school not looking, and the mothers and fathers pushing the baby carriages. Complete streets are actually safer for car drivers. And we'll talk about that, why that is so important and so true. It also turns out that complete streets are one of the most practical economic development strategies you can come up to. We were talking this afternoon with Perry, what's his last name?
Long.
Perry Long, about the way you develop a community has as much to do with improving the quality of life of its residents as it does with attracting new businesses. If all we say is important is more jobs, getting more businesses, we will fail at that, and we'll have a lousy community besides. If we say our goal is building a healthy, livable community, using our streets as part of the process, you will end up being prosperous. So let's look at it. Transportation and happiness. Let's call it down. Safe and healthy, walkable, bikeable, sociable, beautiful, sustainable, nature enhancing, inclusive, accessible, equitable, affordable, efficient, and commerce enhancing. And you now have the outline of what we're going to talk about. So here we are, Decatur Street in Atlanta. You ever been to Atlanta? Car city, right? I mean, talk about overdone. You think LA is bad? Nothing on Atlanta. So this is a pretty boring, ugly street. Which street would you rather walk down? Okay, let's try that again. This is Norte Avenue in Chico, California. Okay? Which one do you want? Let's try that again. Let me see if I have that down right. Is that better? Yeah? How about that? So, incremental steps. Every one of none of these steps were phenomenally expensive by themselves. Paint for a bike lane, some trees, zebra crossing. Cumulatively, step by step, over time, you create a street that I'd love to live on. This street or this street? I like the optician, you know, this glass, right? Which looks better? Which do you want to live in? Which do you think is more prosperous? Where do people come to shop? Here's another one. Now, I'm going to play a trick. Watch this. See this? That's the same street. You didn't think so? Watch. Let's see. Can I do this? That street? Same street. Okay? What we've done, we've added nature, benches, we've made it a place. And we'll go through the steps. Here you go. Here we are. Back to the beginning. Ready? Storefronts, chairs. Got rid of some of the traffic markings. Added to trees. And then you get people. Now here's the amazing thing, if you're a small business person, is what's called an aesthetic bonus. People are willing to pay up to 10% more for the same product 3 blocks away if they're on this block with the trees. Why? Because you feel better. You're willing to be there. You want to be there. Okay, here's another one of my dreamscapes. You know, I'd love to be here. So back to where we started. If you don't know where you're going to go, it's hard to tell when you're heading in the wrong direction. And here's what we learned. If you plan for cars and traffic, you get cars and traffic. If you plan for people and places, you get people and places. This is not rocket science. Right? This is real basic stuff. But unless we push this onto the traffic engineers, they're going to plan for cars and trucks. That's their job. That's what they were trained to do. That's what they're supposed to do. It's our job as citizens to say what we want is people and places that contain cars. Streets are not just functional. If you're making them livable, the important thing about life is that you love it. That's why I started with happiness. You really, getting there should be at least half the fun. It's about our quality of life. Thank you.
You might want to hear all of what Steve had to say, along with comments from some of our own residents at the end of his presentation. You can find a YouTube video of his talk on the healthycityfallriver.org website. Just click on the related activities link at the top of the page and look for the link to Steve's presentation, along with the other videos presented on this show. We'll take a short break now, but I'll be back shortly with some other video segments of some of the activities that have helped to make Fall River a prize-winning healthy community.
Don't get smacked by fat. Calories from sugary beverages like sodas, sweet teas, and sports drinks can cause obesity that may lead to type 2 diabetes. Learn more at healthycityfallriver.org.
You do so many things to protect them, but you may never have realized one of the things that can hurt them. A 16-ounce sugary drink contains 13 packets of sugar. These extra calories can lead to obesity, diabetes, and other health problems. So try some healthier options. After all, they're sweet enough already.
Hi, I'm Dr. Weed. If you're just joining us, we're looking at some highlights of the many healthy activities that have taken place over the past month in Fall River, all part of the Healthy City Fall River initiative to help people in the city live an active and healthy life. Our series of Family Fun Nights continues with an event held this time at the Talbot Middle School. Due to the cold winter weather we had that night, only a small number of families were on hand, but they had a wonderful time talking with our agency representatives, learning about nutrition from St. Anne's Hospital dietitian Lori Hammondtree, and having a blast moving in the gym with Mike Ramos and Angie Braz. Let's take a look.
What we have,
The second one you might be very interested in, free from I sign on automatically on.
Eve last time.
Okay.
Well, we cover the food pyramid, it used to be a food pyramid, it's now the new USDA plate. Have you seen this? You remember the old food pyramids? They used to try to do their nutrition education. Yes, they changed. So if you look, it's the corner of the plate is your protein, the corner of the plate is your grain. So what's the grain? Bread, rice.
Oh, great.
Yes. So what else are grains? Yes.
Grains would be like rice or possibly maybe even
Noodles.
oats or
Corn.
chia, stuff like that.
Crackers, yeah. Okay. Right. Yes, and the pizza rolls, right? Okay, so what they're kind of encouraging is meals that have more vegetables and fruits. 3/4 of this plate is plant-based, and just a small portion of it is animal protein. Yes. Now, carbohydrates are starches and sugars in our diet, right? So when we eat a lot of them, what happens? Yeah, it gives us what?
It gives us like fat because too much of even a good thing is bad.
Yeah. Some of those extra carbs, those extra sugars, our bodies, if we're sitting, we're not going to use them. So our bodies, in order to handle those loads of glucose, sugar in our bloodstream, the liver will take that sugar, convert it into triglycerides, which is a fat source, and then store it away as fat. So you get fat production if we overdo carbs. So part of this whole plate is trying to reduce the portions of those high carb foods, like the grains, the pasta, the rice. So smaller portions of those.
Your pancreas has more harder as well.
Yes, and the harder your pancreas works, the faster you wear it out. So we're trying to keep you from getting diabetes. I'm a diabetes educator. So I see what happens when you're drinking too much soda. So when we look at carbs, we look at portions. So a good rule of thumb is this is about the size of a cup. These are half cup portions. These are 4 ounces. So my fist is about the size of a cup. So for your starch on your plate, really not any bigger than your fist. Yeah. So when those plates of pasta, meatballs, it's a little bigger than your fist, right? So you're kind of overeating. So kind of think about cutting your portions. The foods that don't have a lot of sugar are what? The vegetables, right? These are all low starchy vegetables. You get less carbs, you get less calories and carbs in your fruit. And then your protein foods, which is your meat, chicken, fish. I think these are chicken fish.
That's all about eating well and getting some exercise and so forth. We see lots of charts and statistics and data and so forth. One of the bits of information that I think you all need to keep in mind is that the experts are telling us that if our children keep eating the way they're eating, not good, and not getting the exercise that they need to get, not good, that theirs will be the first generation in history to have a shorter lifespan than the generation that preceded it. So we as adults, it's our obligation to start looking at how our students are being fed, what we're giving them, and what they're doing in the way of exercise or not, as the case may be, you know, all the computers and all of that kind of thing. So, all right, we're all going to move into the gym, and I want to see everybody moving when we get in there.
My name is Mike. This is
Angie.
And one of the things that we're going to do today is talk to you a little bit about nutrition, exercise, calories, because we all do things every single day that burns calories that even could be considered exercise. But a lot of times when we think about exercise, we think about going to the gym, lifting weights, running on a treadmill. I typically don't like to run on a treadmill. Angie does. She loves running on a treadmill. I don't. But there's things we do every single day that is exercise. For example, anybody play sports? Ride bikes? Walk? I saw you guys walking here. So I need, I'd say 2 lines. One right
to thank Marsha Picard for organizing this evening.
Without that, each family can come up and help yourself to a bag.
Come on up.
Yay, I'm going up.
So, thank you so much. Have a great evening. Thank you for coming.
I think everyone who came out that night had a wonderful time and learned a lot about how to stay healthy. The next Family Fun Night is scheduled for March 25th at the Morton Middle School. So if your child attends Morton, be sure to plan on attending that evening. You might even win a free bag of groceries. We're going to end the show by checking in with our Fitness Challenge participants. We're now halfway through the 4-month series, and more people are sticking with the challenge than in any of our previous years. Our most recent session was held at General Fitness, where challengers could choose between step aerobics or spinning. Let's take a look.
I woke up at 6.
Welcome to Step Aerobics. We're going to keep this very basic today. And we may march it out. We help with those. Let's march it out. We're right foot. Come on, stereo. All right, let's now step touch is coming. Right foot leads. Here we go. Next one with the arms. There you go. Step and touch. Okay, this is right. Just to keep moving. So if you're going left and going right, don't worry about it. Heel curl right here. One more time. 1 and 2. Guys, it's fantastic. So colorful. 1 tap. Reach right here. Push. Arms through the chest. Punch it forward right there. Woo. One more time. 1, 2. Step touch. Here we go. Heel curl. And wide tap. Perfect. Through the chest. You ready to end?
Right here, guys. Let's go. Pick it up. Come on. Pick it up. Hey, hold it. I'm right with you. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Breathe and come on. Come on. Watch those shoulders. Nice. Nice. Grab some water. Hold it. Hold it tight, guys.
prize is this t-shirt and water bottle, and then it's unlimited classes for March from Fitness Fusion. 3-0. All right, good job, everyone. Have a good weekend. There's a low-carb group after. They're just going to be sitting right here if you would like to join that.
And just like Brittany said, there's a free low-carb support group that follows each of the Saturday challenges at 10 a.m. at the Recreation Program Building, 72 Bank Street. Though it's too late to join the challenge to win the grand prize in May, anyone can sign up for the challenges that are held on Wednesday evenings at 6:30 or Saturdays at 9 a.m. for only $5 between now and May. Go to the FallRiverFitnessChallenge.com website for complete information. That does it for this show. But before I go, remember, if you're doing something that helps people in Fall River lead healthier lives, you can contact me at drweed@cox.net, and I may cover those events on an upcoming episode of this show. Until next time, this is Dr. David Weed reminding you to not only keep yourself healthy, but to look for ways to help make the entire community a healthier place to live, work, and play.